All right, here we go. It's the top 5 F1 drivers of 2023. And we start at number 5 with Charles, don't call me Chuck, Leclerc.
Chuck Leclerc.
The Ferrari lead driver had 6 podiums this season, 5 poles, and tied for 4th in the driver standings with Fernando Alonso. He also finished the season really strong, finishing 2nd in his final 2 races, almost winning in Las Vegas, and then showing some great strategy in the final race in Abu Dhabi to try and get Ferrari that 2nd place in the Constructors. Finished 2nd himself, but nonetheless, great season from Charles. A lot of bad luck. Showed his skill in qualifying, but just couldn't put it all together on race day. Some his fault, some Ferrari's fault, some just bad luck. On to number 4, we have Fernando Alonso. The Spaniard finished with a podium in 6 of his first 8 races, with Aston Martin coming out of the gates extremely hot. They kind of struggled near middle to the end of the year, but those first few months for Fernando Alonso, when he was just pounding in 2nds and 3rds, was incredible. Something to watch. Really turned the clock back. He finished the season tied 4th in the standings with Charles Leclerc, and really was just hanging on till the end of the year. But he did finish 4th. He actually got the tiebreaker over Charles due to having better finishes. He almost had an amazing pole in Monaco, if not for Max Verstappen putting in probably the best 3rd sector these eyes have ever seen in qualifying. But overall, great season for Fernando, 8 podiums, and can't forget his great radio comms. He was making us laugh, keeping us entertained, even when there wasn't much going on. And he had to partner with Lance Stroll and listen to Lawrence Stroll all year. So kudos to Fernando Alonso. Great job. 4th best driver of 2023. On to number 3, and we have Lando Norris. Little Lando Norris.
And it's all too much for little Lando Norris.
Now, Lando might still be searching for his first career win, but he had many great races in 2023. Kind of the opposite of Alonso with the car. So the Aston Martin started strong, finished weak. The McLaren was an absolute tractor for the first half of the season. In fact, Lando Norris had 7 podiums in his final 13 races, which included 6 second places. So getting really close to that inaugural win. All in all, Lando finished 6th in the standings, but was the 2nd highest points getter in the second half of the season, obviously behind Max Verstappen, but really led McLaren to the 4th place they had in the Constructors standings. Again, a great second half of the season, and he really looks poised for a breakthrough in 2024. Hopefully, he'll be able to get his first win. Number two, we go Lewis Hamilton. I'm sure if you were to ask Lewis where this ranks in his best seasons of all time, wouldn't necessarily be up there at the top because he's got 7 driver's titles, but 3rd in the driver standings this year with arguably the 3rd or 4th fastest car, sometimes even worse. For a few minutes there, it looked like he was going to chase down Checo to get 2nd in the driver standings, which would have been an all-time achievement considering how much better the Red Bull is than the Mercedes last season. But overall, 3rd in the driver standings, really good year, just the marker of consistency from start to finish. He led Mercedes to 2nd in the Constructors standings. And despite it being the 2nd winless season of his career, really back-to-back winless seasons for the first time ever, he really strung it along all year. He had a pole at Hungaroring in Hungary, of course. He had 6 podiums, and really should have been 7 because there was that questionable DNF in Coda when he almost chased Max Verstappen down for the win on the final lap. But he dealt with questionable team calls from Mercedes, a lot of them due to George Russell kind of being a dink. But all in all, despite no wins for Lewis and having less podiums than some of the other guys, it was just a very consistent, very impressive year with a car that, once again, did not suit him. And in the least surprising news of the day, number 1 is Max Verstappen. With 19 wins in 22 races, 2 seconds, and 1/5, Max was simply unstoppable this year. It was one of the best seasons from any driver we've ever seen in F1 history. I don't care. Yes, the car was incredible, but just essentially a flawless season from start to end. Really embarrassing his teammate Checo Perez. He had enough points to win the Constructors' Championship by himself. He finished first or second in every race, but won 19 out of 22. So that's can really put that together. But 12 poles and managed to win 19 times. 13 records set. 13 records. Now that's most wins, highest percentage of wins, just a whole bunch of things. 21 podiums in total, and as I said, arguably the most dominant season in F1 history. So there you have it, top 5. Like and subscribe.